Hi.
Hello.
We can hear you, but we can't see you, just FYI.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Hi, guys. So you guys are going to be having a conversation amongst each other, aren't you? Yes. In
Yeah.
that case,
Yes,
I'm putting myself on mute. Off you go.
Okay.
perfect. Thanks so much. Morning. My name's Simon Stevens. I'm head of the Skills Centre at the National Theatre.
Hi, my name is Afria Nylander, and I'm the new director's office assistant here at the National Theatre.
So we thought we would give you a little bit of an overview of what our particular roles are and some of the sort of crossover as we discuss that. So the Skills Centre, which is the team that I work as a part of, sits in the learning department, and the Skills Centre is focused predominantly on addressing the skills gap in the creative industries. So we're really focused on design, craft, technical, and production roles. And there's lots of reasons why there are skills gaps in those areas. Some of them related to COVID, and some of them related into access to arts education. So we've got a whole program of activity that is focused on young people all the way to people in the early part of their career to try and address those skills gaps. And as we do that, we want to try and make sure we make the workforce more representative. So that's the Skills Centre. My background is in arts education. I went to university, went to drama school, worked as an actor, started doing lots of youth arts work, became a drama teacher, and then latterly have been working in sort of talent development, which has led me to my role here at the National. But Afria, do you want to just talk a little bit about your new role that you've just started here?
Yeah. So I just started this week, so this is my fourth day. I work at the director's office, so that is kind of the hub in which the producers, the artistic director, and all the associates at the National work. And I'm basically an admin assistant. I help out with various different departments to keep the building running, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your journey? Like where did you first know that you wanted a career in the creative industries? What were some of the steps that you took to make that happen?
Yeah, so when I was in school, there wasn't really much funding for drama or the arts, so I kind of wanted to be a physicist. And then I saw Jane Eyre here, and I was like, I really want to do that. So I applied for the BRIT School, got into that. I did 2 years there, and then I did the Bridge company course, which was an extra year. But this was during COVID, so there was basically nothing to come to go for after. And so I kind of just I got a normal job, let's say I was a barista. I wasn't really in the arts, and I looked at my local theatre, which was the Kiln, which is in Kilburn, because I live in West London. And from there, I began writing, facilitating, and there was an amazing opportunity at the National, which was North Ken producing placement, which was for the show Grenfell that was on. And I applied for that, I got it. And then since then, it's kind of snowballed into me really being in the arts and then being in theatre and then getting this job. So yeah.
So in the last couple of years, you once you'd finished at BRIT, which is a
Yeah.
free performing arts school in
Yeah.
Southeast London, so you studied theatre there. You didn't go to university or drama school. You sort of took other opportunities that you found
Yeah.
within theatres and within arts organisations. Were there any of those particularly that you found really useful in terms of helping to make decisions or equip you with specific skills?
Yeah, so I did so start. So the Kiln Theatre, they do a young writers program, and they do a facilitating program, which is actually paid. So they pay you to come in and to teach and to write, which was amazing because I was really broke at the time and I really couldn't take time off work to do it. So it allowed me, and it also showed that there was actually value in what I was doing and the work that I was doing. And it wasn't that they were trying to take me for a ride and make me work for free. And that made me feel very valued in the arts. And then at the Old Vic, they have a theatre makers program, which is like a producing 6 months every 2 weeks, which was great because I got to see other people that were kind of further in their career as producers and meet them. And then obviously the National, they have also like a young producers program, which is a 2 week like intensive course where you get to meet amazing like people, casting, producers, actors, agents, and you basically just learn about the whole industry and a whole. And then from that, if you want to apply, you can apply for a young producers placement, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
then paid, and then that's a paid opportunity where you basically can produce events for the National. So it was River Stage, Connections, and New Views, which was quite a lot of work to do, but it was like really fun and amazing to put on your CV. I think it really stands out when the Nationals on your CV.
It's really interesting to hear you talk about connections and new views
Yeah.
because those are um, obviously amazing programs that the National Theatre run. So Connections is the biggest youth theatre festival in the country, and lots of people might have been a part of it either through schools, colleges, or youth theatres. And then New Views is a new writing
Mm.
program. And the River Stage, what was that? Can you talk a little bit about that and what your role as a sort of early career emerging producer was?
So River Stage, in the summer, which is coming soon, thank goodness, outside they have basically a stage at South Bank and they put on various acts. And I think each act has like half an hour, an hour, and you basically get to perform for an audience on South Bank. And our event was tailored around people that kind of wanted to get away from the crowds, but also wanted to still be involved in the celebration. So it was a lot of like a room where you could just come, you could create masks, do like friendship bracelets, badges, talk to people maybe in the industry or just people that have just come through and kind of like little friendship connection
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
circle type thing.
Has that been important to you? It's really interesting how you've managed to tap into these existing projects and programs, the Kiln, the Old Vic, the National. Have the connections that you've made with other young people, other early career artists, been an important part of how you've navigated the creative industry?
Oh, absolutely. Because it's like with this industry, you're gonna see everyone again. Um, you go to one course and then you go to another, and then it's the same person. You're like, oh my God, you're from that course. And I think it's also what we're all trying to build a career. So it's like really great to have that connection and then see what they're doing, then ask questions of, oh, I know that you used to work here. Can you just give me some insight on how that is? There was a lot of people before when I was going for my interview for this job that I just had to ask, like, oh, I know you worked at the National. Please tell me this information, or do you mind having a coffee? And I think it's building connection, but also that like something like authentic. Like if you authentically be yourself, then I think the right people will come to you. And that's really like long lasting. I've learned a lot from the industry by talking to other people or having a sit down with them. And I'm really grateful that they've given me their time, but also like they're also my friends now. So it's like it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, yeah. And it feels that it's really interesting what you're saying about sort of being your authentic self, that actually people sense that and people do are willing to give up their time and they do want to support. There is this sort of collegiate sense of people going, how can I open doors for other people starting out
Yeah.
in in this industry? I think at the National Theatre we and in the learning department in the skills centre, we're really, really focused on why it's important to open up opportunities for young people. It's sometimes just that short course or an individual workshop that can be the thing that gives you a real insight into a particular role that you didn't know about before. So in the Skills Centre, one of the things we're really interested in is how can we demystify and signpost people into roles and careers that they might not have heard about before. So National Theatre is the biggest factory in central London. Everything that appears on our stages is made here in this building. So there's a wigs, hair and makeup team, there's a metalwork team, there's an armory who do all of the sort of water and special effects and military things that are sometimes required in productions like Coriolanus. So there's all of these different roles, and all of the people in this building, whether they're in the sort of marketing or development team, or whether they're in the lighting and sound team, are creatives in their own right, and they want to have a creative and rich career. And so it's really worth trying to like dig into finding what your thing is. You know, if you're interested in fashion or music, there will be a role for you at the National Theatre. There will be a role for you in the theatre and in the creative industries. So that's why things like our young producers or our young techs or introduction to stage management, our lifting the lid programme, in focus workshops, these are all things that you can find out about on our website. So I really guide people towards the National Theatre website. Look for those courses. They recruit at different times throughout the year. We always post them on Eric, and Eric has been a brilliant platform for us to increase our reach and knowledge about what we're doing here on the South Bank and also across the country as well. So our Young Techs is also nationwide, which we offer as a sort of online hybrid offer as well. But Afria, is there anything you feel like has been a really useful bit of advice that you've been given that you think you could share, or that you have formulated yourself? Because you've had already a really exciting and rich freelance career before you started at the National, but any useful bits of advice?
I think I really wanted to be an actor when I was at BRIT, and I just went for the producing role because I thought it suits me. You know, I'm from North Kent. I would love to learn. And I think it's about not trying to put yourself in a box. I think what I liked about acting was I liked that it was in theatre. So I could really just do anything in theatre. And it was once you put yourself out there and try and learn other things, you're going to realize that you're actually a multifaceted
Yeah, yeah,
creative
yeah,
and you
yeah,
can do other things. So just because you might not get an acting job, there's so much other things that are in theatre and the arts that you can do. And you just need to like go out and try. And you may
yeah,
like it, you may hate it, but it's at least you tried.
absolutely. And I think that sort of multi-hyphenator career, like the career that Afria is pursuing, is can lead to really rich and exciting opportunities. And it's just being alive to what those opportunities are. So using things like the National Theatre website, come and see some shows here. We offer £10 and under tickets for young people. We have rush tickets available at 1 o'clock on a Friday. So there's loads of ways to access what's happening here
Hmm.
in the building. And also, like Afria said before, I think tap into the networks that you build over time, both your contemporaries, but also the people who run and lead the courses that you might be a part of, are also a really, really useful resource, I think. But yeah, get onto the National Theatre website, pop down here, hang out, go to the bookshop, book some tickets.
Yeah.
Guys, that was amazing. Thank you so much. It was so good to have both of you here. Thank you.